In 1945, Germany was not merely defeated, it was utterly destroyed. Its factories were reduced to scrap metal, its currency lost its value, and its workforce was drastically reduced. 70% of its cities lay in ruins, its currency was worthless, and its people were starving. The victorious Allies divided the country in two, as if it were a lifeless corpse. Yet within 20 years, West Germany had become the third largest economy in the world. This was no accident, and it wasn't solely due to American aid. This is the story of the 20 choices that built the modern German economy. Germany wasn't just defeated in 1945, it was utterly obliterated. Millions were killed, its infrastructure was destroyed, Allied forces dismantled its industry. The Morgenthau Plan seriously considered transforming Germany into a purely agrarian state, stripping it of any industrial capacity forever. No factories, no heavy industry, just farms. Had that plan been implemented, the Germany we know today, home to Porsche, Siemens, and BASF, would never have existed. The country was divided. The Soviets controlled the East, while the Americans, British, and French controlled the West. Berlin became a divided symbol of Cold War hostility. But then, the West realized it needed a strong Germany as a bulwark against the Soviet Union, so restrictions were relaxed. But relaxing restrictions didn't necessarily mean a roadmap. The Germans were left with a devastated nation and two choices: follow the centrally planned approach of the East or try something entirely new. But within a decade, something extraordinary happened. The decisions made in those early years by politicians, industrialists, and labor leaders set Germany on a path to becoming the undisputed economic engine of Europe. This was no accident. It was a deliberate choice. Germany's first major decision was radical. In June 1948, the Western Allies and German officials abolished the old Reichsmark and introduced the Deutsche Mark. Overnight, every citizen received 60 new marks. Savings were converted at exorbitant exchange rates. Debt vanished. It was a therapeutic economic shock, and it worked. Within weeks, the black markets disappeared. Goods returned to the shops. Investments poured in. The new currency became a symbol of stability and confidence. Germany had realized early on that a stable currency was the foundation of everything. Ludwig Erhard, Germany's first Minister of Economics, rejected both Soviet-style planning and American-style free markets. He created something different: the social market economy. Markets would allocate resources, but the state would regulate competition, protect workers, and provide a social safety net. Capitalism with guardrails. This wasn't socialism. It wasn't pure capitalism either. It was a third way, and it became the philosophical core of German economic policy for 70 years. In 1951, Germany passed the Co-Determination Act. Workers got seats on corporate boards, not as a symbolic gesture, as actual voting members. This decision changed German capitalism forever. It aligned the interests of labor and capital. It reduced strikes. It encouraged long-term thinking over quarterly profits. German companies couldn't just maximize shareholder value, they had to balance stakeholders. And that made them more stable, more productive, and more trusted. Germany made a bet on vocational training. Instead of pushing everyone toward university, Germany created a dual education system. Students could split their time between classroom learning and hands-on apprenticeships. Today, nearly half of German students take this path. They graduate with real skills, real jobs, and no debt. This decision created the most skilled industrial workforce in the world. German precision didn't come from nowhere. It was trained into millions of workers, generation after generation. Germany chose not to concentrate economic power in a few mega-corporations. Instead, it nurtured the Mittelstand, small and medium-sized enterprises, family-owned, highly specialized, focused on engineering, manufacturing, and exports. These companies became world leaders in niche markets, hidden champions. One town might produce 90% of the world's industrial pumps. Another might dominate dental equipment. The Mittelstand gave Germany resilience. When one sector struggled, thousands of others kept humming. Germany's domestic market was limited, so it looked outward. Post-war Germany decided to rebuild its economy around exports, high-quality goods sold to the world, precision engineering, reliability, performance. This wasn't just a business strategy, it was national policy, trade deals, currency management, infrastructure investment, all designed to support exports. Today, Germany exports nearly half its GDP. Few large economies depend on global trade like Germany does. Germany rebuilt its infrastructure with obsessive attention to detail. Highways, ports, rail networks, energy grids. The Autobahn became legendary, not because it had no speed limits, but because it was engineered to last, to move goods efficiently, to connect every corner of the country. Germany understood that manufacturers need more than cheap labor. They need logistics, speed, reliability, and Germany delivered.
Germany gave its central bank one job: price stability. The Bundesbank was legally independent from the government. Politicians couldn't force it to print money or inflate away debts. This decision was shaped by trauma. The hyperinflation of the 1920s had destroyed savings, fueled extremism, and paved the road to catastrophe. Never again. The Bundesbank became the most credible central bank in the world, and that credibility underpinned German economic success for decades.
German companies don't answer to Wall Street. Germany's banking system allowed companies to prioritize long-term strategy over short-term stock prices. Major banks held equity stakes in industrial firms. Families controlled companies for generations. This meant German firms could invest in R&D, worker training, and capital equipment even when it hurt quarterly earnings. American companies optimized for the next quarter. German companies optimized for the next decade. Germany made a calculated decision to bind itself to Europe. The European Coal and Steel Community in 1951, the Treaty of Rome in 1957, the European Economic Community. Germany gave up sovereignty to gain something bigger: access to European markets, political legitimacy, and a framework for permanent peace. This decision paid enormous dividends. Germany became Europe's factory. Its goods flowed tariff-free across the continent, and its economic power grew without triggering the kind of fear that had plagued it before. When the euro launched in 1999, Germany sacrificed the Deutsche Mark. Many Germans hated this decision. The mark was a symbol of stability. The euro was an experiment. But for German exporters, the euro was a gift. It locked Germany into a currency zone with weaker economies. That kept the euro cheaper than the mark would have been, and that made German goods hyper-competitive on global markets. Germany gained. Southern Europe struggled. The imbalance still defines European politics today. When the Berlin Wall fell, Germany made an extraordinary commitment. West Germany absorbed East Germany, poured in trillions, rebuilt cities, retrained workers, extended pensions and welfare. It was expensive, painful, controversial. But Germany refused to leave the East behind, and over time, reunification expanded Germany's labor pool, its land, and its industrial capacity. In the early 2000s, Germany was called the sick man of Europe. High unemployment, rigid labor markets, stagnant growth. So Germany did something radical. Chancellor Gerhard Schroeder pushed through the Hartz labor reforms. Unemployment benefits were cut, job protections were loosened, temporary work expanded. The reforms were brutal. They sparked protests, but they worked. Unemployment fell. Competitiveness surged. Germany became Europe's growth engine again. The cost? Rising inequality, wage stagnation, a growing precarious workforce. Germany chose competitiveness over equality, and it's still debating whether the trade-off was worth it.
Germany tied its industrial success to cheap, reliable energy. For decades, that meant coal and nuclear power. Later, natural gas from Russia. This decision gave German manufacturers a massive cost advantage. Energy-intensive industries, steel, chemicals, manufacturing, thrived. But it also created dependency. When Russia turned off the gas in 2022, Germany's entire energy model collapsed overnight.
While the US and UK financialized their economies, Germany doubled down on making things. Cars, machines, chemicals, electronics. Germany kept 20% of its economy in manufacturing, twice the rate of most rich countries. This wasn't nostalgia, it was strategy. Manufacturing creates high-value jobs, it drives exports, it anchors supply chains. Germany understood that wealth comes from production, not just services. Germany became obsessed with balanced budgets. After reunification debt, Germany passed a constitutional debt break in 2009. It limited deficits to 0.35% of GDP in normal times. This made Germany the most fiscally conservative large economy in the world. It kept debt low, it maintained credibility, but it also limited public investment when Germany needed it most: infrastructure, digitalization, defense.
Germany opened its doors to workers. First, the Gastarbeiter in the 1960s, Turkish, Italian, Yugoslav workers who powered the factories. Later, in 2015, Angela Merkel welcomed over 1 million refugees. Immigration wasn't charity, it was economic necessity. Germany's population was aging, its workforce was shrinking. Immigration kept the factories running, but it also created social tensions that still shape German politics.
Germany bet its future on cars. Volkswagen, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Audi. These weren't just companies, they were pillars of the economy. Millions of jobs, entire regions dependent on their success. Germany became the world's premium automaker. But that bet is now under threat. Electric vehicles, Chinese competition, software-driven cars. Germany built its economy around the internal combustion engine, and now that engine is dying.
While America built Google, Amazon, and Facebook, Germany focused on hardware. Germany never created a tech giant. No German platform dominates the internet. No German software runs the world. This wasn't an accident. Germany's strength was precision engineering, not software. Its culture valued privacy over data collection. Its capital markets favored stable manufacturers over speculative startups. Germany won the 20th century, but it's struggling to win the 21st. Germany became Europe's lender. During the Euro crisis, Germany insisted on austerity. It lent to Greece, Spain, Italy, but demanded reforms in return. This made Germany powerful, but also resented. Germany used its economic strength to reshape Europe in its image: fiscal discipline, export competitiveness, low inflation. Southern Europe paid the price, and the resentment lingers. These 20 decisions built the modern German economy. They created the world's fourth largest economy, a manufacturing powerhouse, a model of stability and precision. But they also created vulnerabilities. Germany's dependence on exports makes it fragile when global trade slows. Its energy dependency left it exposed. Its aging population threatens future growth. Its resistance to tech leaves it behind in the digital economy. And its commitment to Europe, once a strength, now feels like a burden. Germany today stands at a crossroads. The decisions that built its past may not be enough to secure its future.
Germany's economy wasn't built by chance, it was built by choices. Sound money, worker power, export focus, long-term thinking, European integration. Each decision solved a problem, each decision created new ones, and together they transformed a ruined nation into an economic superpower. The question now is whether Germany can adapt those decisions or whether it will be trapped by them, because the world that rewarded German precision is changing, and the next 20 decisions will determine whether Germany leads or falls behind.